Good morning, good love, and good meditation, illuminators and way showers. And I was going to say, and good intentions. Good morning. This is Wendy with Languages of Lights. And as you might be able to tell, I just got up. I was just sitting out here watching the sunrise, doing my own morning meditation intentions of gratitude. And I just thought I'd share these couple of moments with you to share a little bit about how I begin my day with my intentions and meditations. And so I just wanted to, I was actually going into a channeling and I was guided to perhaps share a little bit of my process, because that's a lot about what all this is. And my coffee, so that's part of my process. I haven't gotten off the caffeine yet. I love coffee and I hate decaf. So I'll begin with that. It's something I've been wanting to do, and I was thinking about, and I've been wanting to adopt some new healthy lifestyles. So I started researching coffee alternatives. So that's one of the things when we talk about self-care. Even just making the move to research something that's better for you, to replace something that you want to replace in your life. It's simply, again, swapping one set of belief systems for another and allowing yourself to move into that frequency. And then there's also, of course, the other side of that, the belief system that, you know, coffee's awesome. It's a bean from the earth. But yet everything is a permission slip. Everything is a substance that has a particular frequency that has a particular effect on us physically, and caffeine's one of them. So with that said, there is a physical aspect to what we've agreed to as to what caffeine does to us, and whether or not it like everything else is not only a permission slip, but it's also a teaching. It's also a teacher. It's a teaching tool. A teaching tool. Teaching tools. I like that. That's what these are. These are teaching tools. These are for us to teach each other how to navigate through this crazy stuff. I keep messing with my hair because I don't like the way it looks. So, but this is it. That's morning me, guys. So as I was sitting here meditating, and now the sun's going behind the trees, so it's getting a little chillier for the moment. But I was sitting here thinking about you and my gratitude for all of you, and how exciting it is and has been for me this week to meet so many amazing, beautiful people. You know who you are. And how we really do, as we change our vibrations every morning by intention, we literally change the frequency in which we move and navigate through life. And we change, not change, yes, we change, but we make room for, we move into a new frequency that allows us to meet the people that we need to meet in a day to further us on our highest journey. If we set the intentions in the morning to allow our guides to assist us in doing everything in a day, I do it all day long. They will help you make appointments. They'll tell you when to make that phone call. They'll tell you when to ask for the raise. They'll tell you when to leave the job. They'll tell you when to go for that new place, that new apartment, that new job, that new relationship. Until you work on yourself every morning and intend how your day is going to start, you don't build a foundation to allow these things to come into your life, because you're so busy. As soon as you wake up, you're thinking about, what do I need? What do they need? What do I got to do? It's everybody but you. Everybody but you comes into your head. So when we allow the guides in first, and when you allow these few minutes, and it's whatever minutes you have, and you will find that you will find the way to stretch these minutes out, because you're going to find that these are going to be the most magnificent moments of your life, of your existence, because you're going to understand that no matter what's going on, no matter what chaos is going on in the world, nobody can take away these moments from you. Nobody. These are yours. And until you honor them and make them magic, make them intentional moments, and really stop just giving yourself lip service to, I know this stuff, yeah, I watch it, I watch channelers, I watch this, I do that. But it's about actually applying the information. How can I take these Reiki principles? For today, I will not be angry. Well, how can I actually apply that? Okay, today I will not be angry. But when you're faced in that situation, in that moment with your spouse, your boss, your subordinate, your significant other, your children, someone at the other side of a service, in which you are either you need to resolve a situation or you want to compliment a person. All of this it takes the worry out of everything when you let go. When you know that, if I know by complete faith that my guides are helping me every minute, that they got my back, they're going to help me decide what to do when, that I can let go of the how, the what, the why, the when, and relax. And start my day simply by saying, I'm not going to worry today, because I know they got my back. I'm not going to be angry today, because I know that when I'm showing anger against something, it's just a signal to me that's telling me something's bothering me inside of me. Something is triggering inside of me. Something, that person has been given the gift to me to show me what it is that I need to work on today. Isn't that why we go into meditation? To ask, what do I need to work on today? How can I make myself better? How can I see the world more clearly? How can I do this? How can I do that? And then we don't listen for the answer. We go, oh, I'm not hearing the answer. I'm just not hearing it. Well, sure you are. Sure you are. It's that you're not listening, or you don't, as I said to somebody yesterday, or maybe you just don't like the answer. Excuse me, morning voice. Maybe you just don't like the answer. And sometimes we don't want to hear the answer, and we get angry. We get angry at the answer. We get angry at the messenger because we don't like the answer. So if you can understand that, anger dissolves, because you realize how many times have we said, don't shoot the messenger? Your guides are just messengers. I'm just a messenger. You are just a messenger for me. Everybody we meet is just a reflection of you. It's just, that's the way it is. We've created our version of each other to give us messages. And isn't that amazing? How awesome and creative is that we can do that? I mean, that's what this is about. So when you can actually really ask yourself in the morning, how can I apply this stuff that I'm listening to every day? How can I not just give myself lip service, but actually give myself self-service? How can I do my work honestly? And my dad always said to me, if you're not going to do it right, don't do it at all. And that's really stuck with me all my life, because, and that's why, how we talk about doing your work honestly. And if you're going to do something, give your heart and soul to it, even if it's just for a minute. Even if you can only devote a minute to it, because you're better off devoting 10 solid minutes to something wholeheartedly than the 30 minutes to it half-assed, because you're not there. You're not, all of you isn't there. And don't you find that even cleaning toilets, well, for me. um, and those of you that have such the same pleasure, you know, I find myself just gritting my teeth like, oh my God, I never want to clean a toilet again in my life. And then I think, okay, how can I apply the stuff that I know? And so I use, you know, the natural cleaning products. And I mean, so I try to make myself feel good about what I'm doing and remind myself that, you know, thank God I have plumbing and, you know, that kind of thing. So, you know, you gotta really apply this stuff in order to shift your awareness and shift your thinking, because instead of gritting my teeth and bitching and moaning about having to do something and then doing it half-assed because I don't really want to do it, to embrace it and say, okay, God, I'm so grateful that I have this. In the end, you know, when you don't have electricity or you don't have water, or you know, I've been there, you know, because here, you know, if we don't have electricity, we don't have water because we have a well and a pump, and the pump doesn't run without power. So, you know, so there's a lot of things you can't do when you live in the country without electricity. So I also have an electric stove. We have propane here. We don't have natural gas in the country. So now I could get a propane stove. Yeah, I could do that. But at the time we built the place, that wasn't an option. So anyway, I digress. So you learn to find gratitude in the intentions. By setting your intentions in the morning, it allows you to sort of let everything go, and you allow yourself to make a list of the things you really need to do, that you want to do, and the things that you have to do you don't want to do. And you will find that if you begin with a list of things you do want to do, just like Bashar always said, the list of things that you didn't get to, either they help you get done if you have to do it. Because you're going to do it in a time when you feel now, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to knock it out. And I've actually found myself bringing things outside to do. I tend to bring as much of my work outside as possible because it makes me feel better while I'm doing it. Doing it under natural lighting makes a huge difference on your psyche. I bring as much of my work outside as possible. How many people love to do that? They go outside for lunch at work. They congregate in the morning. You know, so it's really, our bodies are designed to want to be outside. We really are designed that way. We're designed to want to be in the light codes of nature. We're designed to want to hear the frequency and the symphonies of what's around us in nature, even if we don't consciously understand that. We're just naturally navigates. We navigate to nature. And there's people who will say, well, I don't really care for the outdoors, and that's fine. You don't need to be in it like I am, you know, in the woods or in the dirt or in with the bugs, or, you know. But the point is that even sitting by a window and getting natural sunlight and doing as much work as possible, you know, putting in full spectrum light bulbs. And so there's all these things that we can do consciously that are natural, that we can do to elevate our moods, to get the feel good. There's the hummingbird. To get these feel good hormones going in our bodies that are naturally occurring already. And everybody knows that from exercise, you know, the runner's high and all that, you know, so you're getting all of these. And when you're doing yoga, when you're doing good things for yourself, you kick in the happy hormones. Let's call them the happy hormones. So you kick in the happy hormones, and all of a sudden, your body physiologically has no choice but to respond in kind. And so we begin to truly understand the connection between body, mind, and spirit, that the mind connected to the spirit affects the body. And it also allows the mind to, I don't want to say take a back seat, because that's not what they're showing me. It allows the mind to meld with, because all of a sudden the mind says, oh, I've got the support of the triangle. Okay, I don't need to do all the work. I just need to, I need to connect with the spirit and the body. And if I connect with the spirit and the body, because the mind is not the spirit. You have to remember, your mind is not your consciousness. Your mind is within your consciousness. Your body is within your consciousness. So it would only stand to reason, so is your spirit. So there you have it. So you have to be able to say, okay, mind, ego, whatever you want to call it, you know, you're not taking a back seat. What you're doing is you're lightening your load, mind. You're letting your mind connect with your spirit and your body, and you're letting everything work now in tandem. Now they're showing me the recycle symbol, you know, for recycling trash. That's why we do this when we automatically, don't we, when we pray, when we meditate, when we channel, we're connecting the physical, we're actually connecting the electrical circuit. When you sit in the divine position, if you will, you're connecting the circuit, because your body, your feet, your legs, everything is connected like a triangle. And you're literally then within a triangle. You are literally within. So when you're meditating, say I have trouble meditating. Well, okay. Picture yourself then. Don't even call it meditating. Just call it, I'm going to sit inside my triangle. Okay. So I'm going to sit inside my triangle, and you can make a pyramid in your yard. You can make one, but the point is you make one in your mind. You do a mind meld and make one in your mind, and make a pyramid in your mind, and say, I'm going to go sit in my pyramid. Now you get to carry your pyramid everywhere you go with you. You can make it any color you want. You can make it any size you want, but you get to carry your pyramid with you. And now no matter where you go, you've got your mind meld and you've got your pyramid, and you can walk into that pyramid anytime you want. Because understand, guys, your mind, your body doesn't know the difference. Your body doesn't know the difference. As long as you're connected, body, mind, and spirit, you feel what you're experiencing, right? You can have a memory and cry. You can have a memory and laugh. You can have you can have a memory that literally puts you into a fit of uncontrollable laughter. And so your body doesn't know the difference. You are so powerful. And this is something that took me years to understand, because I was putting it out to the universe. How is this possible that I can take my mind and connect to the stars and to the galaxies and to my body? How is that even possible? I remember watching a movie many, many years ago. and they were in Altered States with William Hurt. Awesome movie. And it was one of my first introductions to the idea of really going into a deep meditative state. Now, and I've mentioned this before, that, you know, of course they do it in the movie, because that was the time that we were in, you know, it was induced by drugs that, you know, were able to induce this. But the point is, now we don't even need that. You know, we know we don't need that to access that. We know by studying brain waves, we can hook up, you know, electrodes and know that, and register the difference in people's brain waves when they're going into a meditative state, or even listening to beautiful music, or holding their pet. I mean, all of these things have a physiological, physical change. They manifest. This is the whole point. It's all connected. This is manifestation. This is how you take a thought and make a manifestation, how you make something real. When you're going and looking for a place to live, you're just imagining it, right? But now you physically go do the action to go make it happen, but you're still manifesting it one way or the other. So take it back down to setting your intentions for the day. I will be in gratitude today. I will be grateful for the knowing that I got my back, that I got my pyramid, that I got my people, that I got my support system, and that even if I don't know another soul in the world that is like me, which is ridiculous because that's not true, you have me, that's no longer true anymore. We can't even pretend we're alone, because we're not. We can't even pretend that anymore, because you can walk into your pyramid and you can be with anybody you want. Anybody you want. even me. And this is something that my guides have been wanting to talk about for a while. You guys can connect to me anytime. Just think of me. And this is what's so important for us to understand, that as we meet each other, as I meet you, as soon as you send me an email, and all of you who have met me know me this, now. I know you. It's like I know you. I think you. I feel you. I understand you. And I know it goes both ways. I know it does, because that's been the experience, because there's always the other side. There's always the other side of you. So intend in the morning that you are, and none of this has to take any time at all. I mean, one of the points is that, and I digress for a second, because they want me to remind you guys, I don't have time. We always hear this. Well, you know, first of all, the time comes when you make the time. That is the fact, Jack. So, but the point is that once you become intentional about doing this, you don't need to take 30 minutes to do it if you don't have that. Now, you can make that if that is what becomes your desire, because you will find that you will become so addicted to this. Nobody is going to stand in the way of you and your pyramid. Nobody. Because it's going to become so important for you to take that time, even if it's 5 minutes. No, mommy needs her pyramid time. Mommy needs 5 minutes. You know, so your children will begin to understand that their alone time is sacred, because you've made your alone time sacred. You have shown them that they are the most important, that their centeredness, that their oneness with themselves is the most important thing ever. The most important thing that they can do in their morning, in their day, is become intentional. I'm going to have a great day. I'm going to pass my test. I'm going to do great in the play today. The list goes on. So help our children set intentions for themselves. And by doing that, we are setting our own intentions. We're not only teaching, we're learning, and they teach us too, don't they? Don't our kids teach out of the mouths of babes? How many times have we said, oh my God, you know, our kids. So when we teach them to be grateful for who they are in their own skin, their own body, no matter what they look like, no matter it. And I know we all do this as parents. We all want to do this as parents, because it becomes natural for us to want them to be the best that they are. But the problem is that when we as adults carry a bunch of crap and a bunch of baggage, and we aren't loving ourselves, we are not setting that example for our children. No matter whether you think you're, and this is where the difference between lip service comes in, because and actual self-service, because if you're not actually doing it, you know, kids are very astute. And they know when you're talking it, but you're not walking it. And so does everybody else. But the most important part is you do. And that's all that matters. You do. So this is how we actually apply what we consider this metaphysical, esoteric stuff in the real world. How we, and then it goes on to kindness. I'm going to be grateful for myself. And when I'm grateful for myself, and I'm grateful to my world, and I'm grateful to the people who are messengers for me, when I'm no longer angry when they trigger something in me because they're triggering something in me, because it's a gift I need to look at, because I've asked my guides to show me what it is that I need to work on and get rid of, and what illuminate. What shadow do I need to illuminate so it's not a shadow anymore? It's not even shadow. I don't even like the word shadow work, because to me it's light work. To me, you're shining light on something. To me, you're not actually digging in the shadows. To me, you're actually bringing things to the light. And if we can look at it that way, we are literally starting our day walking into the light right away, instead of the shadows, because we changed our perspective of what we decided to call it. Words have frequency. We know that. say what you want, not what you don't want. How many times do we say what we don't want and we do it inadvertently? We don't even realize we're doing it. I stop myself all the time, and I stop other people, and they're getting actually kind of irritated with me now because I stop them all the time. You know, I hope it's not going to rain for the concert. Well, now why would you say that? I hope, why don't you say, I am looking forward to a sunny day at the concert. And hope always implies doubt, doesn't it? Hope. I hope. I hope. I don't even use that word anymore. I truly try to be conscious of the frequency of the words I'm using now, because, and not to make myself crazy, because after a while it just flows. You just naturally don't do it anymore. It's not hard work anymore. It just becomes a part of you. It becomes a part of how you act, how you think, how you exhibit yourself, how you walk through life. So watch how you say things that we tend to just automatically go to the cup half empty, because that's what we were taught. That's what we were taught. We're taught to look at the, oh, I hope it doesn't, rather than, oh, I hope it does. When you can just shift your perspective just a little bit, just that. If you could just say today, I intend to just do that today, to only change my perspective and change how I think about how I say things. Instead of saying what I don't want, say what I do want. Let me see the magic that manifests in my life. I'm going to take a drink, and I'll be right back. Yum. More coffee. And I also have my water. Oops. I missed. Okay. And when we are able to realize our ability to manifest in this way, when we begin our day with these intentions, and let go and know that we're guided, that we're supported, we understand finally what it means to let go, to actually that all your control is really in your release. One of the intentions I had was to do more videos in the morning. I used to do a lot more in the early morning because my lifestyle was very different when I lived up north. I had to be up very early, and it was just a different atmosphere, a different neighborhood. So I was often up before sunrise, actually, as many of you know. It didn't matter the weather, even in the dead of winter. So I was up a lot early in the morning at sunrise, and being up with the birds and up early with the sun and doing videos early in the morning. And because there's a state of mind that we're in, as you all know, when you're coming out of your waking state. And if you can take that time, and I would suggest to you that was the most powerful tool I have ever gained, was when I opened that door up to myself, and I was not a morning person at all. I hated getting up in the morning early. Hated it. All my life, school, work, didn't matter. I hated getting up in the morning early. A lot of other reasons for that, and which could go into actually a really good video that they just told me, because there's a whole aspect of that that's really important. But the point is, I told myself also, I'm not a morning person. So therefore I wasn't, because therefore I am that I am, right? So, but what I realized was, and this was while I was still working, and because I was forced to get up so early in the morning because of the situation, the work lifestyle, and schedules and so forth, I found though that I found a magic, because there was a period of time then when I was up very early, but there was time before I had to leave for work, and I realized that was a magic time. because when you're coming out of that state of sleep, and then I was literally waking up, brewing my coffee, putting my boots, shoes, coats on, and walking outside, going outside with Ranger and walking in the woods. I mean, I was like not even awake yet. So that's when they started coming to me. That's how I began to connect so really deeply, was because of that morning time. And so I found that because my lifestyle has shifted, that early morning making videos, now that I was able to make them when and any kind of time I want now, outside, I don't know, I felt like that plane, it's just a little biplane, but it felt like it was sort of a message for us somehow. I don't know. Like all of a sudden I wanted to like go into speaking languages. That was kind of interesting. So there's a time in the morning when if you can wake up, and if you can even just get up a few minutes before everybody else, if you can take that time, even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes, it's really a great time because you're still in that state of awareness, a more multidimensional state than because and if you can not, you know, as soon as you wake up in the morning, you start clicking off the things you need to do and who you need to blah, 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 blah. If you can start there and just even start with, where was I? Who was I with? And many of us are now starting to have dreams about each other. A lot of people tell me they have dreams about me. And of course, I mean, we're all hanging out in the astral. And maybe that's what the plane was about. We're all together hanging out in the astral every night. We're planning stuff. We're having parties. We're hanging out. We're learning healing together. We're activating each other. We're speaking languages together. We're meeting all of our galactic families up there. You know, yes, it's happening to you. And as you be able to connect these things and apply these things every day and begin your days with these intentions, you're going to open these doors. It just happens. So all of this leads back to being kind to yourself, because once you allow all this stuff to penetrate, you're kind. Be kind to yourself and all living creatures. If you can intend to be kind to yourself, that's the most beautiful gift you can give yourself. Because when you can be kind to yourself, you show the world that not only are you important, but they're important. Because when you're kind to yourself, you give everyone else the permission to be kind to themselves. And when we as a humanity are kind to ourselves, when we self-accept, when we self-love, there's nothing that can stop us. Mahalo. Namaste.